You know what, Brad? Let's open this video with a joke. What do you call a chicken that's looking at some lettuce?
I don't know, Carl. What do you call a chicken that's looking at some lettuce?
Chicken Caesar salad. Thanks to shows like Sherlock and Elementary and those Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies, the character of Sherlock Holmes has never been more popular in the media. And although a lot of the shows and movies based on the life of Sherlock Holmes are generally true to the source material with minor variations, none to date have ever shown that Sherlock Holmes is supposed to be superhumanly strong.
But in the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr., he's shown to be very strong when he fights those people.
Yeah, I should probably address that because I'm aware of the fact that in the Sherlock Holmes movie starring Robert Downey Jr., Sherlock Holmes in that movie is shown as being able to dispatch opponents many times his own size, who are obviously quite a bit stronger than he is, with well-placed crippling mouth slaps to the jaw. A distinction, however, needs to be drawn between being very, very good at boxing and have an intricate understanding of the human body and where exactly to punch it to knock someone the fuck out, and having Captain America levels of strength. Do you know the story behind that like arm curling a helicopter scene as well? Do you know the bit where you see like Chris Evans' fucking bicep and it's, oh my god, that bicep's bigger than my head? Apparently you're supposed to wear the jacket that he's wearing at the beginning of that scene during that, but apparently between takes he took it off to go get a drink or something like that, and they just went, there's no way you're putting that jacket back on, mate. We're going to reshoot a scene early, show that jacket being taken off so we can see those fucking arms. Because they saw him like getting a drink off set and went, those arms have been in that shot, I don't care, we need that like hero shot of him just like fucking arm curling a moving helicopter going, yeah! It's like the scene where he just rips the fucking log in half.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the best. Just like ripping logs in half, man.
Showing his massive Captain America-sized dick.
It's just, I remember seeing that in the trailer and going, man, I'm betting that's not even like a stunt log. I bet Chris Evans just did that. Oh my god.
It wasn't even in the script. He was just off to the side, getting a bit frustrated about messing one of his lines up.
Just tears a log in half. That's amazing. In virtually every adaptation of the original Sherlock Holmes stories made for television and film, Sherlock Holmes is never shown to be anything more than an ordinary man who just so happens to possess a very intricate knowledge of boxing and martial arts.
Yeah, he's not exactly that superhuman, because in the second movie, he supposedly predicts he's going to lose one of the fights.
Yeah, to Moriarty, a guy who's like 25 years older than he is, because he uses like, his mind powers that allow him to like, predict the upcoming battle to see, oh, Moriarty's just as smart as I am, and also his superior boxing skill will allow him to win out against me.
Prognosis increasingly negative.
And that's why he obviously gets to end up like thrown off the Reichenbach Falls. However, if that movie was just a smidge more accurate to the original Sherlock Holmes story, it would have realistically ended with Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes picking Moriarty up like Darth Vader does to the Emperor at the end of Star Wars and just slamming him down that waterfall like an absolute bitch.
I love the fact that in Soul Calibur, that move is the Emperor throw.
And you can actually do it off the edge of a level as well.
Yeah.
It's my favourite ring out move, just going, oh, oh, the way it should always end.
So what's Holmes like in the books?
Well, he's basically the same as he is in a lot of the movies and TV shows. Like, he's described as being an incredibly adept martial artist who's studied like a lot of martial arts, boxing, and he's like adept at fighting with a stick. Apparently he's very good at cane fighting. Apparently he's like, his martial art of choice, which is why Sherlock Holmes always carries a cane. However, unlike a lot of like TV and movie adaptations of the novels, like he's also described as like possessing strength that would be classified as superhuman for someone his size. For example, consider what happens in the Sherlock Holmes story, The Adventures of the Speckled Band, in which the eponymous detective meets a large, intimidating man called Grimsby Roylott, who is described as being so immeasurably strong that his mere presence in a room causes people to shit their pants in fear.
I'm not frightened of you, Doctor. Get off my land!
What happens in this story then?
Well, in the middle of the story, for no particular reason other than to show how scary and terrifying like Roiler is, he picks up a very heavy steel poker and with considerable effort on his part, in a fit of anger, bends it almost completely in half before storming out of a room. Which makes sense, because like, that fits the character of a guy who probably punches bacon into cooking itself just to show his oven who's boss. What doesn't make sense, however, is what happens next. Once like Roiler leaves the room and throws his poker roughly to the ground, like Sherlock Holmes, who is described in most of the original stories as being a habitual drug user who just so happens to almost starve himself half to death when he's working on cases, picks up the poker off the floor and with no apparent effort being exerted, gently bends it back to be perfectly straight while Watson like observes in like complete shock and then places it back where Roiler picked it up from and continues about his day as if nothing had happened.
I may not be quite so bulky, but...
Bearing in mind as well, in the actual story, like the illustrator shows Roiler being like a foot taller than Sherlock Holmes. Like, this guy, you can put a picture of him, this guy's fucking huge. He looks like a wrestler or some shit. And Sherlock Holmes would be like, he's usually portrayed looking like this, in like, just walks up to it and just goes, oh, okay. It makes sense in the movies, like, oh, he's super smart, and that's why Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes can beat up these huge, big, buff dudes, because, like, oh yeah, he understands, like, human anatomy, and knows if I punch this guy here, I'll be able, like, you know, I'll be able to, like, knock him immediately out. Oh, he's got floating ribs. If I punch with this exact amount of force at this angle, it will break that rib and weaken him enough to knock him out. What doesn't make sense is, oh, here's a giant, heavy steel poker. That's the exact noise it makes as well when it does it.
Do you think it's like a Worf effect? It's trying to show how strong Holmes is by having him counter something that another man has done?
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that it's never really brought up ever again, and that's why I find it so amusing. Yeah. That, like, in no story does like Sherlock Holmes having the ability to do this ever really come in handy. He just does it simply because he can.
How on earth do you do that?
Although I'd love for a scene like that to appear in a Sherlock Holmes TV show or a Sherlock Holmes movie, I'm guessing the reason we haven't seen it yet is because there's no way you'd be able to get an audience to believe that Benedict Cumberbatch could effortlessly snap a man's neck with his bare hands.
Speaking of various interpretations of a popular character,
Aye.
I hear that you've got fan art floating around now.
I have. That's really cool. We should probably mention that because I told all the people who've drawn them so far, this is really neat. So yeah, apparently now this channel's popping up where people just send me fan art of myself, which is nice. So I think distinctly recalling one video, I actually say I only ever want to get famous enough where people draw sick fan art of me. And now, like more recently, people have just been sending me cool drawings of myself. So Brad's going to put some of those behind me now, and there'll be links to the artists who drew it, like Twitter profiles below, because I think that's really cool, and I'd like to thank them for it in like this small way that I can. So I think that's really cool.
What's your phone screensaver, Karl?
It's a picture of me dressed as a big old fairy. It's great. We can put my phone screen, but you can see all my. Will it show up? So yeah, someone drew that, which I think the fairy picture of me. I love that so much. I sent that to my mum, and my mum was at work and she dropped her phone. So I sent her it. Mum, do you remember this picture of me when I went to that house party when I was like 16? It's like, yeah. I went, someone drew a picture of me like it, and I got a text like 4 minutes later, thanks son, I dropped my phone. Because she was at work, saw it, laughed, dropped her phone, and showed it to everyone in the office. So thanks whoever drew that, I really appreciate it. You made my mum laugh.
You know that this video is now going to prompt a lot more fan art.
I don't mind, I think it's funny. I enjoy it. It's cool to see people like draw a picture of me. I also like the ones that people drawing pictures of me when I look bad. People are finding like bad photos of me I've posted on Twitter. Like, there's a great photo that I think I've made it known. So you put this picture behind me as well. When I was in Europe one time, I got so hungover and I was so warm. I walked for like an hour and a half in Germany and found a Burger King. There's a photo my friend took of me when I'm hungover as balls and I'm in a Burger King eating my third Burger King, and I'm just looking at the camera like that. And someone drew that. It's just, I look so shit in it, it's great. And it cracked me the fuck. It's like, that's the worst photo I've ever taken of myself, but I've said, if I ever die or like anything bad happens to me, only share that photo because that's the picture of me I want to survive the ages. That's what I want eons from now, people like Google on the mega internet. Oh, we found a weird, obscure guy from like the 2000s who made stupid videos. What does he look like? And that's it. That's the one. That's the fucking winner right there. I love it. So yeah, to everyone who has done that, thank you very much. I hope like me sharing it and your Twitter profiles and stuff helps in some small way, because it really did make my day a bit brighter when I saw all that. Thank you very much.